Spring-assisted knives have been around for a very long time in the knife community. I'm not really sure who was the first company to do them, but I know Kershaw definitely popularized them. So you would think that by the time this knife came into production, the industry would have long figured out the perfect way to execute a spring-assisted knife. Well, if they did, they certainly didn't tell 511, or at least the company who makes these knives for 511. Because here I'm going to review a knife that could be fairly cool, but it has a hell of a lot going against it. And it somehow manages to get the selling feature of a spring-assisted knife so wrong that it actively works against the knife itself. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. So first things first, I actually do have the packaging here. So you can see this is the model RFA assisted opener, US made CPM S30V blade steel. Very cool. This is a combo edge in what they call their storm gray finish. It uses their vector assisted opening mechanism. It's the same as any other assisted opening mechanism. Black VXI textured FRN scales, liner lock, 4-way position clip. Okay, Fox Knives USA, and you can see the designer. Very cool. So it's Fox Knives that make this one. Not a good look for you guys, Fox. Sorry to say. And we have some technical specs on the back. Open it up. It does come with a Torx wrench and some replacement screws. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Some replacement screws. And then some warranty write-up, paperwork, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I like to show the packaging whenever I have it and whenever I think to go and retrieve it for the video. That's what you get with the 511 RFA. Let's get that out of the way and talk about the knife now, because, man, I did not go out of my way to buy this. This was included in a knife lot that I got. The same one where I got a ton of other knives, where I bought some stuff back from a guy and he had a whole bunch of other stuff that I wanted. And this was just in the lot. Okay, and it was in the lot for pretty cheap, honestly, because I got the whole lot for like $250. And the knives within that lot were worth considerably more than that. And this was just happened to be in there. So I did not go out of my way to buy this, and I'm very grateful that I didn't, because man, would I be disappointed if I did. Let's get into why. So as I mentioned, it's a 3.5-inch blade made out of S30V steel. You can see there it's made in Taiwan, but it's using American S30V steel, which is a fantastic steel. It holds a very good edge. It's not really that hard to sharpen. I mean, it's a lot harder to sharpen than like a US 8 or something. But in the world of, you know, nicer, higher-end blade steels, I've never struggled to sharpen S30V. So it does sharpen, it will sharpen fairly easily. You can say I don't have a ton of use on this knife because I can't bring myself to put it in my pocket. It's a good steel. It's a very good steel. I like it. The blade shape is this really cool modified Tanto. I love that because you see it, while it is a Tanto, it almost bellies at that secondary point, which allows us to be a fantastic utility blade. It's honestly a very nice blade shape. You know, it's clipped at the back there. The tip is very fine. And by the way, you can see that little bit of a chip there towards the tip of the knife. You see that? Maybe it's a roll. This is box fresh. This has never been used, so I didn't even know that was there. Yay for a quality control issue. But very, very fine tip, very penetrative, would puncture your clamshell packaging quite well. The blade is fantastic, minus these god-awful serrations. They do make a plain edge model, or did. This is discontinued. But they did make this in a plain edge model. That would be the version to get if you want this knife, because these serrations are terrible. I prefer my serrations to have the crescent section equal platform with my fine edge section. I find that tends to make them slice a hell of a lot better. This is just not a good example of how a serrated knife should look. Matter of fact, here is an example of one that I think is better. This is the old SOG Trident. You can see those are much better serrations, and they do cut significantly better. We'll see that Trident again later. So get the plain edge version, but overall, I like the blade. It is hollow ground from about 3/8 of the way down, which is nice. The coating is, to me, it looks like titanium nitride. What do they call this again? They call this storm gray finish. Yeah, it's probably a tie-dye finish. So handsome, but it will wear off as you use it. So what's the problem? Well, the problem isn't the blade. The blade is nice. The problem is everything about getting to it. Because this is a spring-assisted opening knife, and the spring tension is so ungodly strong that it's actively difficult to get the knife to deploy, at least on the one I have here in my hands. I mean, the spring tension on this thing is so far beyond any of the assisted openers I've handled from Kershaw, SOG, CRKT, Buck, you name it. This thing is just a monster to try to get out. So what ends up happening is that very stout, I don't know if I can show the mechanism or not. I really should get a little flashlight for these videos. Okay, you can kind of see, maybe I can make that visible to you. Okay, you can kind of see there how the assisted opening mechanism works. Maybe a little cutout, that little platform. Anyways, basically there's constant spring tension on this knife while it's closed, and it's just a nightmare. I mean, I'm pushing. There it goes. Dented my quite calloused thumb. Yeah, it's actually painful to open this knife. It does come out fast, I'll say this. It's the fastest spring-assisted knife I've ever seen. I mean, this thing is a lightning quick blade, but it's just uncomfortable to get out there. Okay, the thumb studs themselves are a pretty standard shape, just a little stepped design, little stepped barrel kind of thumb stud, nothing crazy. The lockup is good. I don't have any up and down play, don't have any side to side play, and it is a liner lock. Somewhat late on that engagement, somewhat thin locking liner, by the way. But the lockup is solid, but the deployment is atrocious on this thing. No knife should be this hard to open, let alone a spring-assisted knife. The whole appeal behind a spring-assist knife is to make it easy and fast to open. And when you had to put this much thumb pressure just to deploy the blade, it's a complete and utter miss to me. I'm sorry, it just is. We have some jimping top side of the spine. That is fairly functional. It's not the most aggressive thing, but it locks you in pretty well. The handle is 5 inches long and made out of FRN, as we mentioned, fiberglass reinforced nylon, which at this price point is a miss for me. Okay, this is, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot to write down the price on this thing, but I think like $160, maybe $130, something in that range. And you might be thinking that's not that big of a deal. For a foreign-made knife, a non-US knife, this really should have been G10. Okay, FRN at this price point is kind of cheesy. And pairing FRN with S30V, I don't like it. It feels like they put all the attention on the steel, nothing on all the rest of the knife. I don't like it. It's slick. The handle scales are very thick. It's somewhat squared off at the corners, so ergonomically, it's boxy in the hand and it doesn't feel great. I mean, you feel this knife when you're holding it. Okay, the liner lock protrudes from the handle itself, even though it's well jimped for engagement of the liner lock. But because the liner lock sits so proud, you feel it in the hand when you're bearing down. You feel this god-awful pocket clip in the hand when you're bearing down. I'll show that in a second. And because nothing is rounded or radius, it just feels so damn boxy to hold. Okay, I don't like anything about this handle. I don't like the material. I don't like the ergonomics. I don't really like the patterned look. I'm not super against it, but it does nothing for me. But this clip is so damn bad. Okay, how do you get a pocket clip so wrong? For one, it is ridiculously oversized. For two, it's a loop-over carry clip, but the screw's mushroom cap, which 511 makes tactical pants with a knife-specific pocket, that this would struggle to go into because of the mushroom capping on those screws combined with the tolerance of how much space we have between them and the clip. Then look at the end of this clip here. It's, for again, way too damn long. They could have ground that off way back here, but it sticks straight out, so we feel it in our hand, and it will catch on everything that you pass by. Okay, car doors, seat belts, door frames, this will snag it all. And to make matters worse, the tension is pitiful. Okay, with my pinky, the tension sucks. Yes, it's 4-way positionable, so that's nice. You can put this in any corner of the knife you want. But God, is that an atrocious clip in every way. It's blackened, which is cool, but everything else about it is terrible. There's your blade centering, by the way. It is pretty much perfect. I'd like to see that. Nice big lanyard hole there, so you can throw your 550 paracord through it. Also love to see that. It's a shame you'd never really bother putting this in your pocket to carry it. God, it's hard to open. Looking inside the knife, the liners are not skeletonized to save on weight whatsoever, which is what... Honestly, the weight on this knife isn't that terrible. Let me go ahead and bring the scale in. I think it's 4.8 ounces, which it could be a lot worse for a knife of this size, but they could have made it even lighter. Oh, no, sorry, it is 5.2 ounces. So, never mind. Maybe it is a little chunkier. I forgot to bring in the pocket itself to show you guys how it carries, so let me bring in that cutlery lever pocket. You see it will basically disappear in the pants, which is nice. But, God, just to show this off, let me grab a knife that everyone's pretty familiar with. You know what? I feel like this is a good standard example. Here is a Bird Metal Arc 2. Okay, standard Spyderco spoon clip. Everyone knows this clip. Just look at the difference in the clip length. All right, that's insane. That is absolutely insane to me. I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe you don't care. I care. I hate it. I just do not like this knife. I'm so glad it just came in a lot with other knives, because if I actually paid for this thing, I would be pissed smooth off. As it is, I feel like I'm going to struggle to resell this thing and get any money back out of it. I might just have to gift this to a friend who will think it's cool regardless. Let it be the nicest knife they ever own, because they will never spend this kind of money on a knife. And again, this costing over $100 is insane to me. Let's bring in some competitive options, because we do have, I think, some interesting ones. The first one is that SOG Trident. Okay, this is the discontinued original design, but you can still find these everywhere for like 40 bucks. Aussate steel will not compare to that S30V, but everything else about this knife I kind of like more, even though I have a lot of issues with these older SOGs. Okay, it's much more comfortable in the hand. It's much easier to deploy. The clip is undeniably better. You can get it for a hell of a lot less. It doesn't lock up as well as this does, but it's a lot lighter. Let's see. How about another cool discontinued? This is kind of an obscure assisted knife. This is the Colt Firefighter. Okay, this is a Fred Carter design, model CT139R. It's a 420HC steel, so not a great steel. Beautiful 6000 series aluminum handle. Great ergonomics, an actual functional rescue cutter. I'll mention that in my review of this knife. Very cool blade shape. This uses the tailwind assist, and look at that. It actually comes out very readily. It doesn't hurt me to deploy. Kind of hard to find. Prices on these are admittedly kind of expensive, $100 plus typically when they come up for sale, just because it is collectible, but I thought it was interesting to show off by comparison. How about a non-assisted knife, but an equally fast knife? Cold Steel AK-47. S35 VN steel, so arguably an upgraded steel. G10 handles, triad lock. Waved features, so this will open from the pocket, making it even faster than an assisted opening knife. Incredibly ergonomic, undeniably strong. Price point on this, these sell on Amazon, should say they go on sale on Amazon for like $89 all the time. Full price is like $130, and it eats the 511 for breakfast. I'm pretty sure this is cheaper than this even at full price. Let's see, how about another discontinued option? This is a Kershaw Launch 5, okay? And it actually failed to deploy there, or failed to lock there. That's something you'll see in my review of this knife. But this is an American-made automatic, not the fastest automatic in the world. Again, we'll talk about that in its review. But CPM 154 steel, US-made, unbelievably ergonomic handle. Price point was about $120 on these, I believe. So we have much better materials. It's a much easier to deploy knife. I mean, you just push the button and there it goes. Not the fastest in the world. The 511 is definitely faster. This really is quite slow for an automatic knife, and you can see sometimes it doesn't want to lock, which is interesting. There it is again. But it's a cool competitive option. So I wanted to bring that in and show it. I would still pick it every day over the 511 despite its quirks. I carry and use it and love it, but it's not perfect either, guys. So for anyone out there saying, well, Taiwanese made, what do you expect? Well, this is American made. How about a Chinese-made knife? Gonzo, also an automatic. This one is the model, if I can get it to focus. Come on, there we go. G721, it focused for a second. whatever. G721 from Gonzo, 440C blade, stainless steel and G10 handle. Right hand tip down, only carry clip, so that's not great, but it's fast. It's easy to deploy. It sells for $25 from AliExpress, and it feels much better in the hand. I'd pick this over that any day. Yes, this steel is better, but everything else is better about the Gonzo. How's that for some competitive offerings? One more time for the Launch 5. Okay, it locked that time. Cool. So this is the 511 RFA. Are you excited about it? I'm not. If you are and you really want it, contact me. I'll sell it to you because I don't like this knife, and I really don't think you should either. Well, I shouldn't say that. Like whatever you like, but just be aware of the flaws of this design because it is riddled with them. For the price, you can just do so much better. It's honestly kind of insulting that this was ever put on the market with all of its many problems to begin with. I would buy a Spyderco Tenacious before I bought this thumb breaker. I'll see you guys later.